Hey everyone, Pat Mesiti here. It didn't take, let me just get my lighting right here. It didn't take long for Labor to really show its mean spirit. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I also want to get to something that came across my desk, and I'm sure many of you may have seen it. Certainly the mainstream media are not reporting it. And it's very concerning for Australians. And my great friend Alexandra Marshall put up a brilliant post about this. But let me just say this. The elites have become so brazen. They are so brazen in their declaration of what they want for you, for me, and for the globe. They're not even hiding it anymore. They are not even hiding it anymore. Let me just say, quote to you what Harari, remember that piece of work that says that humans can be hacked? This is the love child of Klaus Schwab. This is his technological guru that basically told us that we need to be accountable to a cloud up there in the sky, not some God up there in the sky. And I need you to hear me, because listen to me, everyone. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is bondage. Ignorance is broke. And what goes woke goes broke. And I'm going to tell you how you can beat the system. But Harari said that there is a flood coming. There is a flood coming. And this is what he said, that the elites, and I quote, the elites are going to build a Noah's Ark and leave the rest of us to drown. Can you believe this nonsense? They're going to build an ark. There's going to come a flood. Of course, they already tell us that they're going to build the future. They're building the future. Is this the future? Absolutely. But let me just say this. Let me just say this about this foolish, godless man and what he said. And here's the one thing that this guy forgets out of his ignorance. God shut the door on Noah's Ark, and God said it when it was going to flood. So Mr. Harari and the whole darn lot of you, let me just tell you this. It's not over yet. I read the back of the book and I know what happens. But I want to get back to this, and especially in the area of finances, but it didn't take long for Albanese and his lefty agenda to show their hand. Number one, the Greens are all up in arms because he turned a boat around. Number two, the mean girl, the fourth mean girl. Remember, they're all rah-rahing about women? Well, this mean girl, you know who she is, Tanya Plibersek, gets up and compares Mr. Dutton, more than likely the leader of the new leader of the Liberal Party, who's a fine conservative man, I might add. And if you want to put slur stuff out there about Peter, don't put it on this post. I'm going to block and delete you. Don't tolerate that. Don't put it up here. Just don't do it. I'm not tolerating it. Go and create your own platforms. Any of you, we've already lost the last election because of numbnuts and people not knowing what they're doing, just posting anything willy-nilly up there. But let me get back to Tanya Plibersek. She compared Mr. Dutton to the hero, to the villain from Harry Potter, Voldemort, who even the writer of the Harry Potter series said that Voldemort was a mix of Stalin and Hitler because of his boldness. Well, Mr. Dutton came out and said that the reason that he's bald is not by choice, but because he suffers from alopecia. What a mean-spirited woman. What a mean-spirited trailer trash person. Oh, I know now. She's apologized, but it's a bit late, isn't it? Shouldn't you have found out before you shot off your big mouth and became so mean and so cruel? This is gutter politics. And this is the party that Albanese says he wants to unite Australia. Well, I hope you rope in your fourth mean girl, because you didn't do a good job with the other three. Australia got rid of Keneally for you. Miserable failure that she was. Dumping her in from Scotland Island to try and fool the good people of Western Sydney. Well, just like Will Smith gave a good slap to Chris Rock, Albanese needs to give a good slap to this fourth girl, because his silence in this matter absolutely shows his heart. And just remember, I am not a person that likes people that stay silent, especially when they're evil. All evil needs to do to prosper is have good men and women stay silent. Well, not on my watch. Not on my watch. And let me just get back to this financial thing. Alexandra Marshall rightfully said, she said, Australians do not want our country to be run, and manufacturing to be run by windmills that are massacring our birds and that. And this is what the Greens and all that are for. We don't want that. Number two, we don't want our farmland and our land and our resources to be sold to communist socialist countries or to the elites. Because the elites' agenda by 2030, WEF, Klaus Schwab, his agenda is that you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Interestingly enough, this mob fly on private jets to Davos. I bet you the bugs that they're telling us to eat were not on their menu. Guarantee it. And then, of course, we don't want our liberties in the hands of WHO. We don't want that. I'm still waiting for Albo to say something to denounce this. Listen to me very carefully. The elites want a central bank, a digital currency, and that's not crypto and that kind of stuff. So please don't post silly stuff on here. Oh, that's crypto. It isn't crypto. It's a completely different thing. Some of you ought to get into crypto, but anyway, let's leave that alone. But they want a central banking system. They want a centrally controlled religious system. They want a digital currency. Watch this. And Alex Lehman, the chairman of the board of directors from Credit Suisse, SUISSE AG, said this, that every citizen should be needs to be part of the centralized banking system. Another one of their speakers got up and said that we need to create a footprint so we can trace where you buy, where you eat, where you go, where you fly. Now, folks, listen to me very carefully. I've read the back of the book and we actually win, but listen to me. During this time is not the time to stick your head in the sand and go, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. The good Lord Jesus said, occupy till I come. And he said that the sons of evil are smarter than the people in the kingdom. Why? Because they're not ignorant. They go and do stuff. Listen to me very carefully. You can't afford to be ignorant of evil's devices. Good book says that quite clearly. So we need to be able to use Goliath's sword, as I said the other day, to cut off Goliath's head. We need to use systems and use strategies that we can empower ourselves so we're not under their control. We're not under their control. If you're part of the job system, you're going to come under their control. That's why it's important for us to learn to get economic stability in our families and for our children and for our own sake right now. Right now. I'm telling you, next week's too late. Next year's too late. And for the last 2 years, I've been saying things that are going to happen. And believe you me, unlike some other people out there, I could go on there, I really could, that didn't help our freedom parties, especially some of these people that stood up there and said, this is going to happen and, stock up your food and stock up that. Well, where is that? Where did that happen? Foolish people that fought against other Freedom Party members and caused us to lose an election. And I don't care who they are. I'm not scared of them. They don't pay my bills. And they certainly don't have my support. But you and I have got to do something. We've got to do something. When Juan Harari says the elites are building a Noah's Ark, so when the flood comes, they're going to be safe. Well, I'm here to tell you that you have to be the Noah of your life and build your own ark. We are not to be ignorant, and we can't just throw up our arms and say, oh, God's going to provide. Well, the good Lord said, occupy till I come. That means you've got to do something. It says he gives you the power to get wealth. Whether you're a believer or whether you're not, that power is within you. That word means the ability. the strength to be able to build your own financial resources. Now, with that in mind, and I make no apologies about this coming Wednesday, I've got one of the best in the world coming to teach us, and it's free. It is free. This gentleman, Sean, during one of the worst periods for my business partner and I, generated $25,000 for us overnight. One of my former staff members' mums made something like $7,000 in one transaction while they were at an airport, waiting to catch a plane to get back home. Another wonderful friend of mine, Christian friend of mine, I think it was up there, it's literally $75,000. And it's not about the amount of money. It's about getting the knowledge. Knowledge is important. People perish because of lack of knowledge. So this coming Wednesday, 11 a.m. and 7 p.m., 2 sessions. You can ask questions. You can be involved. Please get on and register right now. Don't wait for the weekend. It's going to be full up. And if you miss out, you miss out. Please don't do that. And by the way, another thing, please don't register and then not show up. Because what happens, that takes away a spot from someone who really wanted to be there, could be there, but you took their spot. Are you hearing me, guys? Come on, let's let our yes be yes and our no be no. So come on, I'm asking you to do the right thing and get your financial world in order for yourself and for your children and for your children's children. And my message to Mr. Huavi Harari is that God shut the door of the ark. Just remember that. And God always wins. So guys, thank you. On Sunday, Reborn, be there, 9 a.m. It's going to be a powerful message. I know it's going to change your lives. I'll put a link here in the chat. It's already in the description where you can register for Wednesday's webinar. Get your husbands, get your wives, get your friends on board. And we're not talking about crypto. We're talking about trading and how you can trade as a beginner. Listen to me, as a beginner. You say, I've never done it before. Great, well, you can learn. You can learn. And everything you need in life, you can learn. I want to thank you for listening. God bless you, everybody.